All right, welcome, revelers. This is Off the Rails, Right versus Left, the podcast that we do because we think the left is evil. I'm Rob B.
And I'm Brad Lee.
And I'm Brian G.
And we are Off the Rails, Right versus Left. Again, we're doing this show because we think everybody needs to know that the left is evil.
Classic.
Welcome to Off the Rails, Right versus Left, the podcast that we do because the left is evil and we want everybody to know it. With me as always, I'm Rob B, and with me as always
is Brad Lee and our leftist sympathizer resident,
Brian G.
Anyway, so today we're going to be talking about this joke of an election that we just had.
Yeah,
so
joke is a word you can use for it.
Like, I think right off the bat, we have to talk about, I don't know, I think the biggest overshadowing issue is what the hell did Trump do to an election that should have been a no-brainer?
Well, I've been talking about it for a while, Rob. I like I said before, I wish you would get, whether you agree that the election was stolen or not, you need to stop going, it's my election, and try to come up with it and stop trying to come up with excuses why, let's cancel this election, have a new election and vote me in as president. Yeah, I like Trump and I like his policies, but God damn it, he can be fucking dumb as shit. I'm sorry for my language, but it's really annoying.
No, you're absolutely right, Brian. Sometimes what Trump needs to do is just shut the up.
Well, let the past be the past.
Exactly.
And move forward.
Yes, and talk about ways you're going to fix it going forward. Don't dwell on it. It's done. What's done is done. Biden won. He's in the White House right now. You're not. Yeah. It's been 2 years. If something was going to happen, it should have happened. Okay, I'm sorry that the judges didn't want to take your cases. Everybody's saying that every case that he brought to the courts was thrown out, or he lost the case. He didn't lose the case. They didn't even look at the evidence. It's a bunch of BS. So, but like you're saying, I agree with you, Brian. You're absolutely right. He needs to shut the F up, move on, and talk about how he's going to fix it. And that's where he's lost a lot of support. Another thing is that during this whole campaign, he raised $100 million. How much money did he spend promoting his candidates? Not a lot. He just said, they won.
Well, he's trying to hold on to it for the presidential election. But like I said, if he would just move on and say, you know what, the past is the past. This is what we're going to do to fix it. So half the population doesn't feel like it was stolen or that there was some wrong stuff going on here. Because I do believe that there was some crooked stuff that went on during the last election, presidential election. Yes. Do I think he honestly lost it? I think there's a good chance from the evidence that he probably lost it, even though they did do a lot of cheating. But half the country should not feel that way. There's some stuff that needs to be fixed so the half the country doesn't feel like the elections are stolen.
Well, when we go to bed at night, we should know the winner. I know when I went to bed that night, I totally expected Trump was going to win. I didn't expect what happened when I woke up in the morning. Never seen anything like it, but I wasn't surprised either. But like you said, regardless, he needed to move on. And the thing is the Democrats, even before this election happened, they were already preparing the narrative that the election was going to be stolen. And everybody predicted a giant red wave. In some states, there was a red wave. Look at Florida.
Texas.
Florida is no longer a swing state. Ohio is no longer a swing state. Texas never was, but Texas, Beto O'Rourke lost by what, 12 points?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
All Beto O'Rourke
Chris lost by 20 points. I mean, come on.
Who, Chris?
What was that, Rob? You want to get in the conversation here?
Yeah. Well, no. What I'm saying is, like, so some of these people, all they do is lose. Chris, all he does is lose. O'Rourke, all he does is lose. Okay, so here's my thing about Trump. At this point, the problem that the Republican Party has is Trump's ego. Like, that's the problem. Okay.
Yeah.
If he really is like thinking in the best interest of America. Okay, great. He founded the Make America Great Again movement. Now he needs to hand it off to somebody who follows the values and can actually lead, because he can. Because half this country is going to hate him no matter what.
Yeah, half this country has already got it set in their mind. Unless something happens in the next 2 years that pushes people to the brink. But even then, I think
Dude,
if DeSantis even runs, if he does, which I mean, it would make sense for him too. But I think he likes what he's doing in Florida. The problem is after the next 4 years, he's termed out. He can't do anything, and then he's not ready.
Well,
then he has to wait another
he's
2
running
years
for president.
for a president.
well, Brad,
that's a
I
given.
mean, even the people that elected him know that he's running for president. I mean, they were running on, well, you're only going to have him in office for 2 years. The people at the rallies were yelling 2 more years.
Yeah, no, I heard
2
that.
more years,
I heard
because they
that.
know he's going to run for president.
Yeah, and I think even if he primaries Trump, he wins. Because at this point, Trump is toxic.
Yeah, he will win if he's in the primary with Trump. I don't know that I would vote for him just because I'm a Trump fan. I'm a mega fucking Trumplican.
Okay, but you have to.
But I would probably lose, and I wouldn't be upset about it. And I would vote for Ron DeSantis in 2024.
Right, but if you look at it like the way DeSantis, he is MAGA, like he is, but he's a government guy. He knows how to use the bureaucracy against itself. He actually has the know-how on how to drain the swamp.
Well,
I don't think he does. I think no matter who you get in there, it's going to take 8 years at least to drain the swamp. It might even take 16. So you might need Republicans back to back.
Yeah, and let's
what are the odds of that?
But I think he's a better start than 4 years of Donald Trump, who even half of his party are going to dig in their heels and try and stop him.
Well, and
Trump has nothing to fight for.
I love Trump as a president as far as his policies, but he's an ass. He's an ass.
Right.
We've known that for a long time. So if we could get someone who had Trump's policies, but would learn to shut his mouth or learn how to speak so he doesn't turn everyone off, then that would be awesome. Which DeSantis seems like that type of person.
The reality is Trump is such a douchebag.
Yeah.
Like he is. The people that are going to hate him are going to hate him, and they're not going to stop hating him. Yeah. Okay.
Well, no, here's the thing though. The people that hate him didn't hate him before. Nobody hated Trump. Even Barack Obama, when he was running, said that Trump was the American dream.
Yep.
Oh, sure.
So
absolutely. But the reality is
what happened? The media and the fucking left all turned on him because they weren't getting his money and he wasn't going to fucking do their bidding.
Well, when he turned right and joined the Republican Party, and then once he became president or started running for president, started opening his mouth on everything and not, tweeting on every little thought he had in his head. I mean, the fact is you can't tweet everything that pops into your head. You got to run it through a freaking filter and know, okay, this I should say, this I should not say.
Especially if you want to,
he just says everything.
Especially if you want to unite the country. I agree with you.
Yeah.
He says
and that's my point. Like at this point, Trump is a divisive figure. He can't.
Like I said, sometimes Trump just needs to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, and we've all said that.
Then we also have to acknowledge what the average Democratic voter is: an idiot.
The problem is, though, the average Democrat voter thinks the same way about Republicans.
Okay, I don't care what they think. I don't. Yeah, that's because they're idiots anyway. So I mean, that's kind of the point. So how to frame.
So you think that all these Democrats that call Death Santis are going to any way, shape, or form get on the DeSantis bus? Nope. I don't think so. What it all comes down to is these stupid idiot libertarians and independents that just don't like the candidate. Like, look at Pennsylvania, okay? What kind of idiot do you have to be to vote for a fucking
Corpse.
mentally
Brad,
handicapped Shrek.
Brad, but that's the problem. They were voting since what, early September? They were voting for a month
That
and
is
a half
true. And
before they even heard him speak.
right.
They didn't have a debate until the week before the freaking election. So it happened. It pretty much went exactly like I thought it would. He was 70,000 votes behind before election day, and they weren't able to make that up. So there was a lot of stupid people that were like, I don't care. He has a D behind his name. I'm going to vote for him. I don't care if he can talk or not. But a lot of people switched their votes after that. And a lot of people that voted early said, God, I wish I hadn't voted early because this guy's an idiot.
The Google search after that debate went, what the majority of Google searches was, how do I change my votes? You idiots.
Yeah.
Stop voting early. Do some research. Dude, you have 2 years. Every 2 years, you know there's going to be an election and you know when it's going to be. You can't tell me that you can't make accommodations within 2 years to be able to stop for one day and go vote. I did. I left work early. There's no way in hell I was going to vote early.
Well, like I always did growing up, is Tuesday was election day. I made a point of getting to the box and voting, the voting booth. We need to, like we've talked about in the past, we need to have a national holiday on this Tuesday on November, the Tuesday in November, where everyone can just go to the booth and vote that day. And they need to have it all lined up so it runs smoothly. It ran pretty smoothly in Georgia, from what I've heard, that there really was not many lines. They were having 45 seconds. They got down to 45 seconds between votes.
Yeah, and look at
people going.
Look at Stacey Abrams. She got smashed, and she ran her whole freaking campaign on the whole voter suppression. And even when the turnout was more than in 2020, she was still saying causation does not equal correlation, or correlation does not equal causation.
Yeah,
you're an idiot. The only people, and look, dude, we have a really good case of voter suppression going on in Arizona. With what happened at the beginning in Maricopa County, that is voter suppression. Telling these people that they're going to have to wait 2 to 3 hours and to come back to cast their vote.
You know what they said the problem was?
Well, I heard several different problems. They
came out and said they put the wrong printer ink in the printer, so it wouldn't print out the right lines. And you're going to tell me it took hours to fix that problem?
Well, and I also heard that they had to wait for their machines to warm up.
Yeah, and wait for the machines to warm up. And they told them, well, toss away what you have there and go to this other voting location in this other district, and they'll take care of you. And they got there and like, no, we don't know if you voted at the other place. You can't vote here.
Yeah. And then they were telling them that, just put them in this box and it'll be sent to, it'll go downtown and the Republican and a Democrat will look at it and your vote will be, dude, people do not trust the elections. Our election integrity is shot right now.
You know what I think is the most crooked thing about the Arizona voting? What I think it is? The person that Lake is running against was in charge of the whole voting system.
How convenient is that?
She wouldn't excuse herself from it.
I know, and she should have.
How can you be running for governor and run the election system in the state?
You know what's even more messed up is they took it to the courts to try and get them to keep the polling places open till 10, and the judge shot it down.
Yeah.
Saying there wasn't enough evidence. I'm like, dude, they had 3 hours of.
Yeah, they said you were shut down for 3 hours in this heavy Republican district. It doesn't matter. We're not going to keep it open for 3 more hours. They can get it done.
Right.
Seriously.
Like most Republicans have jobs, so that's why they went in the morning.
Rob, it looks like you're done walking the dog and you're in your car. You got something to say here?
I haven't been able to get a word in edgewise, so I'm letting you guys go. So anyway, here's the real problem, okay? Democrats vote.
No, you don't get to talk. This is not your podcast. Go ahead. I just had to throw that in there.
Democrats vote emotionally. Okay.
They do.
Republicans vote with their heads.
And independents and libertarians are just retarded.
Green Party is just nuts because if you're left of the fucking Democrat Party at this point, like what fuck are you?
You're AOC.
And then libertarians, it depends on what's going on. They're gonna
Fetterman.
If they're feeling okay socially, they're gonna vote for the person most likely to shrink the government. If they're okay with where the government's going, but they have stronger concerns on social issues, they're going to vote with the Democrats. That's why libertarians can go either way.
That's why they're stupid.
They're not stupid, dude.
They are stupid.
Okay,
anybody that votes with a Democrat is a retard.
Okay, you just have a difference of opinion on that. So here's the thing. No, Democrat voters, like an actual Democrat, is a fucking idiot. Like, period. Like, if you choose to be a Democrat, you're an idiot because you're only reacting emotionally. And they've been manipulating your emotions for 80 fucking years and you still can't see it, you're an idiot. Period. The last fucking Democrat to have a decent idea was Clinton.
No,
that's what, 30 years ago?
He was forced to have a decent idea. The best before that was Kennedy.
The only reason Clinton balanced the budget at all was because he decimated the
I'm not
military,
talking
which
about
we had to rebuild.
I'm not talking about the balanced budget. Okay. Now, granted, Hillary Care back then when she was the fucking first lady was a bad idea, and they had a bad strategy on how they were going to deal with it. But
eventually it went to shit anyways.
Yeah, at least she was trying to do something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
unlike our current vice president.
but at least there were some ideas presented. Okay, so the problem that I had with the Republicans and almost every candidate is they were trying to talk like Democrats, and you're not gonna convince a Democrat voter, an actual Democrat, because you're not gonna get more emotional than you're a fucking racist.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not gonna happen. So your only point of picking people up is independence and convincing the libertarians that their governmental values are more important right now than their social values. Okay. But then you look at the messaging of most of the Republican candidates. Carrie Lake had a very clear and specific message, including citing the article in the Constitution that she was going to use to build a fucking wall. She cited specific policy. DeSantis, he cited specific policy when he was running for governor the first time. He followed through on it, and he laid out a course for what he wanted to do in his second term. He stated the actual policies. You look at the rest of these people, fucking, you know why Oz lost? Because he couldn't fucking formulate his opinions, because he's so fucking on the fence. He's so fucking centrist that he can't actually say what he thinks, because what he thinks will probably lose half of the Republican voters and maybe gain him a few Democrats. That's the reality. Okay, but in Pennsylvania, there were two things going on. Fucking people in Pennsylvania are stupid.
Obviously.
It's proven. No, it's not just Fetterman. Okay, so Fetterman can kind of coattail on fucking Shapiro, but the Republicans in Pennsylvania put up this other jackass, and I told you that was going to be a problem in the election. We talked about that. The candidate there for the Republicans was so weak, Josh Shapiro was going to fucking wipe the floor with them, and he was going to drag along the whole ticket with him, and he did. Okay, so between that and the fact that Pennsylvanians are so stupid, for the second time in history, they elected a dead person. The Democrats in Nevada did the same thing with the guy that owned the whorehouses when they elected him to their state houses. Like, this is the second time Democrats have voted for a dead person. Considering so many of the voters are dead people, I mean, it makes a little sense. Oh shit, I should have. Just kidding, YouTube. That's not really a claim. I'm not actually alleging that dead people voted. Anyway, that's for YouTube.
Not at all.
Now for Rumble, dead people vote. Anyway,
don't even separate the two. Just keep it straight, because we're not gonna fucking edit this shit out just for specific fucking.
Yeah. So, anyways,
platforms.
so like the real issue on the whole situation is that, like, they didn't even bother having a message. Like they
No,
didn't
I mean-
bother.
Well, and the
And Rob,
Republicans blindly followed Trump. Trump
Well,
put
but-
in terrible candidates. He put in Oz because what? He was a star. He was a television star. He put in Herschel Walker because he was a star. What I mean, he put in Carrie. He backed Carrie Lake because she was a fucking TV star. But Carrie Lake was smart, and she's probably
Carrie
going to
Lake's
end up
awesome.
winning.
I think she's probably a future for the Republican Party, for
Oh,
the conservative.
absolutely. She's the female version of Ron DeSantis.
And it still looks like she's going to win.
Yeah, well, let me see what it's at now.
I mean, because we always knew that the early voting went to the Democrats, and like she always said, she's going to be behind until the end. And just like she said, she is catching up. She's catching up. She's catching up, and she will continue catching up until she passes them just before the end.
She's at 912 right now.
Yeah,
and Katie Hobbs is at 920. So
yeah, she's catching up, just like
that's only 67% reporting.
Yeah. She still has a long ways to go, and most of it's skewing her way. So in the end, I truly believe we'll be going, yep, Carrie Lake's the new governor. She's going to put in the Insurrection Act, and she's going to do something about the border. Now, I agree with Rob with Oz in Pennsylvania. He was a weak candidate who was not a true conservative. He should have been able to beat. He should have been able to beat Fetterman even without that debate, because Fetterman was a horrible extremist left. I mean, he's further left than AOC.
Yeah,
but he's an extremist. Socialist. He should have been able to beat him. But even with that, Fetterman is such a horrible candidate. If there wasn't early voting, he would have won.
Rob,
the early voting and
the
Oz
state
bad candidate is why he
a
won.
Fucking dead guy.
It didn't matter what was wrong
with him.
But if it wasn't for the early voting, Oz wouldn't have won.
Right. But now, to be fair, Rob did say that he thought Oz was going to win that, and he was a good candidate to beat Fetterman. And I wasn't sure about it at all. I thought that Oz was a terrible candidate. He wasn't a true Republican. He was for transing the kids before it was a thing, and he wasn't a big Second Amendment guy either. The only reason that he got in, the only reason that he won his primary was because of Trump.
Yeah.
And Trump made a bad decision. When Trump 100%. Came out and said that he was going to do it, he got boos from his supporters.
100%. Rob must have swiped right.
I think he's getting ready to do something or something. But
he's muted his videos off. He must have swiped right.
he reached up and it looked like he was getting out of his car. So I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, so Trump made some bad calls, and the people, his supporters went along.
One thing we've all known is Trump is all ego. 100%. It's all about his ego. But he had some damn good policies, and I think he was a damn good president. If the only thing that really hurt him was his freaking mouth.
And I don't even think that it hurt him that bad. Honestly,
it's not his mouth that hurts him. It's his lack of self-control.
Yeah, that's what I said. It's his mouth and his no filter, his lack of control.
Right.
Like, yeah, I really just wish, but I've actually said that since, like, I don't know, 2018. Like, Trump would be fine if he could shut the up.
Right. I think we all said that. If he'd stop taking his foot and jamming it down his throat, he'd be okay.
Like,
another bad thing that he did was when he talked with Candace Owens and was saying that the vaccines were the best thing that had ever happened, and they were 100% effective and all that crap.
We're getting into the vaccines now?
Well, no, that turned a lot of his base off. It turned a lot of his base off.
Okay, but
he should have just him. That's the reason he should have stopped trying to take. He should have stopped trying to take credit for that and just let it ride out and not said a word about it.
What was that, Rob?
the vaccines were his babies. Like, we can't forget that.
Yeah. No, he's the one who got them created.
Right.
So
I mean,
now,
he got all the red tape out of the way and got the government out of the way, and that's the reason the vaccines were created. And they were created while he was still in office before Biden took over.
That is correct.
but it is good evidence of the reason why there's like a 2-year process in order to get these vaccines approved and these medicines approved, because nobody bothered checking to see if they tested it for transmission.
Okay, we need to switch subjects before we have to just post it on Rumble and not go on to the other one.
But that's just what I'm saying. The fact that he tried to take so much credit for the vaccine and he was trying to push them as well.
Yeah.
But he wasn't saying that it needed to be a mandate. He said it's your choice, but he was trying to say that they're good, they're effective, and blah blah blah. That turned his base off. That got people to start turning away from him and looking at him in a negative light.
Yeah.
Well, and then like, I mean, again, like I said, like, he started a movement. Great job. Now get the hell out of the way of the movement, because now all you're doing is impeding it.
Right. You're right.
Like, we should have had Colorado. He supported a weak candidate. We should have had Washington. Actually, the girl in Washington did really good for Republican in Washington.
Yeah, she did, but it was disappointing that she lost because but we never really expected anything else in Washington.
Like, it would have been awesome. Like, I mean, but the reality is, if Trump had stayed out of the freaking midterms, if he had directed from behind the scenes, and if he had just led, if he had stopped stroking his own ego at all these stances and instead spent the entire hour talking about the good things that he was like talking at all these rallies about the good things that the candidate was going to do, and just talked about the candidate and stowed his fucking ego and stopped giving the I told you so's about Biden. I mean, like, I told you so's great, but like, he wasn't really, he's like, well, I can fix it. Okay, so tell us how the Republican candidate is going to be able to fix it, because you're still not going to be there, asshole.
Yeah.
That was the problem. Yeah, okay, great. Even if you have the policy prescription to fix everything that ails us, tell us how your candidate is going to use that to benefit us. And that was the messaging problem. Yeah, okay, great. Biden screwed us over. Okay, but the reality is, in this country, most people don't want abortion bans, so they did manage to tool that into a message. Okay, and if you can't present anything different than like, well, Biden's already enacted this stuff and we can't do much about it. Like, you heard one or two of the candidates and they went, like, you heard them talking about like trying to remove parts of the Build Back Better anti deflation act. I can't call it
the Inflation Production Act.
That's the one. There you go. That's a good one.
That is a huge, that all hit inflation hard. It's
So
government spending does
looks
not
right
reduce
now,
inflation.
It looks like we're going to end up taking the House. We
already got the House. We have 213 secured.
We may take the Senate.
I don't see it. How are we going to take the Senate? Like, we're going to lose Alaska to a Democrat.
Because of their dumb voting system.
It says
well,
that
not just because
the two people in the lead in Alaska are both Republicans. You got
the person leading is a Democrat, and then the next
says right here on the Associated Press, U.S. Senate, 80% reporting. Kelly Shabaka is up 44.3 to Lisa Murkowski 42.8 with 80% reporting.
You know what? I was thinking of the House seat that Palin's running for.
And the reason that the Democrat
that's another Senate seat. Okay.
And the reason
Nevada looks like Adam Laxalt is with 77% in. He's got 49.9% to Catherine Cortez Masters at 47.2. So that's more than likely going to go to the Republicans too. So that's 2 seats that we could pick up. We're at 48 right now. So that's 50. That would be 50. Now, if we can get Blake Masters, it's 46.5 to
So what states?
51.3.
What state's the pickoff? Oh, the pickoff is Alaska, right? Kelly Shabaka.
Yeah, and the two leaders are Republicans, so that's going to go Republican.
What do you mean the two leaders? What are the actual stats for that?
The candidates is Kelly Shabaka, Republican. The two leading candidates, because remember, Alaska's fucking weird ass voting system is Shabaka or Murkowski. Those are the two that are in the lead right now, and they're both Republicans.
Okay.
With 80% reporting.
I didn't
Shabaka
even
is
realize
at
that Murkowski was a
44.3.
Republican.
What?
I didn't even realize Murkowski was a Republican.
That's what it says. Both of them are Republicans. So no matter what happens, that one's going to the Republicans.
Okay.
And Nevada right now, Adam Laxalt is at 49.9, right? And Catherine Cortez Masters, I think that's her name, is at let's see. Hold on a second. She's below him. Yeah. Oh, Masto. Catherine Cortez Masto.
So Lexo finally got past Masto.
Yes.
Yeah, last time I saw, he was still down by like 3%.
No,
So
he's up by two. Well, it's 49.9% to 47.2.
Hey, that's great.
Hold on a second. I'm gonna do the appropriate thing.
But again, like I said, there were two states that actually put forward policy prescription. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, yeah.
And the two states where the candidates put through the policy prescription was Arizona and Florida. And those are the two that they flipped out of TASA. Because those used to be swing states. And like, if this goes down the way it's looking like it's going down, it's not a swing style state anymore.
How can I help you?
Oh no. So the House, what happened to the? That's House. So man, it was showed us the numbers. Oh, overview. Here we go. God damn it.
Ryan, at least give us some Star Spangled Banner while Brad's pulling this up.
Well, what do you want to see?
So are we taking Nevada?
It looks like we're taking Nevada.
Nice.
Okay, so this is the House.
That's amazing because that's another state that's elected a dead guy. Not this election, but they have before too. Like, okay, the dead guy that won in Pennsylvania, that shows the Republicans' problem. All he had to do was go knock on doors and be like, by the way, did you know the Democratic candidate is dead?
Right.
Like, you can't get that message across. I have a pulse. He doesn't. I mean, really, that's all Oz should have had to do too. I have a pulse. He doesn't.
Yeah. For sure.
But oh my God, that is like, yeah, I hope we get the Senate because we can at least stop Biden from doing more damage. But going into 2024, dude, we need to dump Trump at this point. Like, his mouth, like, stop the tsunami. We got a red trickle. I think that's what Ben Shapiro was calling it. We got a red trickle.
Yeah, Ben Shapiro's a fucking douchebag, though. Look at this. Who the fuck is Barry Lindenman? Or Lindman?
I don't know.
He took 6,000 fucking votes away from fucking. He has no party preference. Oh, look, the libertarian idiot that fucking could only get 4,791 votes. Come on, dude. Get out of the race. Look, this
Yeah.
10,800 and fucking those votes should have been up here with Adam Lexalt, and this thing should be over if it wasn't for these two fucking idiots that decided they had to run with no party or the Libertarian Party. The Libertarian Party is going nowhere. It's going nowhere. If it was, there would be more than 4,791 people joining it. And this no party preference, what was this, like his family and friends that voted for him? His family and friends and his family's friends.
Wait, what's his name? Or it just
Barry
says no
Lindman.
party?
Barry Lindman and Neil Scott. It's two fucking idiots that God only knows how they ended up on the ballot in the first place in Nevada. If it wasn't for these two idiots, this thing would already be over.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Look, oh, Mark Victor. Oh, well, at least he managed to pull out 2 points. 40,000. This 40,000 should be up here with fucking Blake Masters. You fucking kidding me? There's a fucking LP for you. Libertarian Party that fucking hasn't been able to do. That's like the fucking Green Party. Jesus Christ. Come on.
Okay,
people.
but Libertarian pulled 40,000.
In Arizona. In Arizona.
All right.
Okay, so Nevada, the libertarian idiot fucking douchebag could only pull out 6%. 4,000. Yeah, that was worth it, wasn't it? Like, you didn't even make a name for yourself. Nobody knew who you were in Nevada. Arizona, not many people knew who you were compared to Mark Kelly and Blake Masters. 40,000 people. Come on.
Yeah.
Stupid. The Libertarian Party is, whoever they are, they're just fucking retards, man. Make up your mind. Don't be like, I'm too scared to say that I'm a Democrat, or I'm too scared to say that I'm a Republican. Pick a side.
Okay.
Either one of them are going to make you happy.
Okay. Just
so
because
take the lesser of the two evils.
Okay, just because I don't pick the two teams that you think I should be on doesn't mean that I'm wrong. Okay, I think Democrats have everything wrong, and I think Republicans spend too much fucking money, and they want a bloated ass government because they want to sit there and collect all their benefits.
So instead, you just want to give it to the fucking Democrats. Brilliant.
Okay, we are the only developed country in the world that only has two parties. Yeah,
well, it looks like we have three, but one's a failing one. One's not even inching its way up into being noticed yet. What's the Libertarian done to make them party done, even to make them competitive in these races? All it's doing is what the Democrats want them to do, which is taking votes away from the Republicans.
Okay, and the Green Party takes votes away from the Democrats, and so do the Socialist Party.
Let me see where's the Green Party on here? Oh, nope, just all I see is the Libertarian Party and Republican and Democrat.
Okay, so that's great.
That's a bunch of bullshit. I don't want to hear anything about that. The Green Party, the Gold Party. What? They're not even on the ballot. That's like democracy was on the ballot, but democracy wasn't anywhere on the ballot.
Okay, but here's the point. That you're missing about libertarians, because they're stupid. They're social.
Pick a fucking side. Pick a side. Yes. All you're doing is costing both parties their votes.
Why are you sounding like a woke bitch right now, shouting people down with opposing viewpoints?
A woke bitch. Get out of here. Okay, give me a good reason why the Libertarian Party at only 40,000 votes is a good idea.
Because they're not Republicans and they're not Democrats.
But Democrats suck ass. What it sounds to me like is they're too afraid to pick a side. They're too afraid to pick a side.
Okay, so do Republicans. Every fucking Republican office says what they're going to do, and then they fucking vote themselves a raise. They vote tax cuts for their buddies.
And libertarians do what? When's the last time a libertarian held an office?
Okay, great. Maybe it's time we get a
No,
libertarian in
answer
office.
the
So we
fucking
can-
question.
Dude, there are libertarians in office, just not at the
Where?
national level yet.
Oh, okay. I see. So instead, let's try at 2.1% and take that away from these other two parties because
Yes,
you're too
absolutely.
afraid. Because you're too
Okay.
afraid to pick a
No,
side.
but Brad, what you're fucking missing is half of those libertarians would be voting Democrat, if not more, not Republican.
Good.
So while you're,
Then pick a side.
they did
It's
libertarian.
worthless. It's worthless. All it's doing is causing more problems. Fucking libertarians are stupid.
Okay, you sound exactly like a Democrat.
How is that? Because libertarians are stupid. They're too afraid to pick a side.
Nobody's
They're
afraid.
little
They just think,
bitches.
they think Republicans are being assholes like you, and they think Democrats are fucking idiots.
Democrats
That's it.
are fucking idiots, so they're right there. And Republicans are not assholes.
But
Who's-
dude, you're sitting there going, you're not helping my side, so you're an idiot. How is that not being?
I
an
didn't
asshole?
say my side. I said pick a side, you dipshit.
They
Pay
did.
attention to the
It's just not like you.
conversation. What the fuck is
Okay,
wrong
but
with you?
They don't think it's a binary. Only you do.
You're just mad because I'm attacking the party that you say that you are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, what? Oh, but now I'm the bad guy, even though you're upset
Okay,
that I'm
and I don't
attacking your
think-
party. It doesn't do
And
shit.
see, here's the problem with libertarians. I guarantee you don't know what the fuck a libertarian is.
You've already told me they're socially democratic. but
Nope,
government,
that is
or
not what I
governmentally
said.
Republican.
Yeah, it's not what I said at all.
Oh, please tell me, explain to me.
On social
One more
issues,
time.
it's none of the government's fucking business what an adult does in their own house with other adults. That's
It's
where
not.
they stand on social issues. It's none of the government's fucking business. Do you agree with that? Do you think the fucking government should be involved in your life?
To
You
an
disagree
extent,
with that?
yes. To an extent, yes.
I don't think
They
the
already
government should be
are with
involved in
my
our life.
kids. They already are with my kids. That's what Child
Okay,
Protective
they shouldn't
Services is
be.
for. And the
Yeah, we had
Democrats are
that-
the ones
that-
that
we've had
started
that
that.
conversation.
So yeah.
We've had that conversation. They shouldn't be. That's the point. And that's why the Libertarian Party exists. Because the Democrats and the Republicans are
Libertarian
both
Party exists for nothing. 2.1%.
your opinion.
It's right there. It's not an opinion, it's a fact.
It's your
2%.
opinion.
What are you gonna make? What difference are you gonna make with 2%? Not a damn thing.
Okay, that's great. If somebody's shooting up a bunch of kids and there's 20 of them and there's only one of me, I'm going to die trying to defend those kids, but I'm still going to try and make a difference.
Okay.
Right?
I am too, but
wait.
I'm a conservative Republican, not a fucking I'm not sure what I am, libertarian.
Okay. And so why didn't the Republican Party, like this president has the country in the worst shape it's ever been in? Why the fuck didn't the Republicans just like blow this shit out? Because they got it all together.
Because they were stupid and they followed Trump. And
Okay.
Trump put in bad candidates.
Wait, what's his party?
And apparently we got a bunch of idiot morons in the Libertarian Party.
Okay, show me a single race where the Libertarian is the difference in the margin.
Well, I would say if 40,000 went to Blake Masters, it'd be a lot closer there.
Okay, so why didn't Blake Masters convince them that he's a better option than the Libertarian Party?
How much money did Blake Masters have to spend? He didn't spend.
I don't know.
He
I don't
didn't
care.
spend nearly as much, and we can blame that on Trump too, and the Republican Party for not backing them with money. Didn't the Republican committee stop putting money into these races?
Yeah,
Just
and
like
that-
Trump raised $100 million for the election and did nothing with it.
And that's exactly the point. Libertarians feel that Republicans aren't out for them. They're out for
Because
themselves. They're part of the
libertarians-
government.
Because libertarians are as dumb as Democrats.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they are. Oh, look. Oh,
Have you ever looked up the Libertarian Party platform?
I'm guessing there isn't much of one. Here, let's do
Yep.
it. Let's do that right now.
You just proved my point. That is the problem libertarians have. You want a party that's going to get rid of all the government red tape? That's the Libertarian Party. You want a government that's going to stop government spending? That's the Libertarian Party. You want a government that's not going to tell you that you have to take a fucking back, a thing? That's the Libertarian Party.
Oh, look at this libertarian wearing a mask. That's fucking great.
Okay, I support people's right to wear a fucking mask. If you're wearing a mask alone in your car, you're a fucking idiot.
If you wear a mask at all, you're a fucking idiot. Everything that I'm seeing here is just like the fucking Republican Party. If Americans want to give money to the government for one reason or another, they should be free to do so. If Americans prefer to spend their money on other things, then they should be free to do that as well. Sounds like a Republican to me. Libertarians believe that all people have the right to freely offer goods and services on the market, and that free market approaches are the most effective at improving people's lives. Free market. That sounds awful lot like Republicans. Libertarians believe that equal rights of all people matter all the time, no exceptions. That sounds like the Republican Party. Libertarians believe that the existing justice system is seriously flawed. That might not be exactly like the Republican Party. Libertarians advocate for a free market in education in which parents, teachers, and students, not the government, would make their own choices. Sounds a lot like school choice. Libertarians seek a United States at peace with the world. Not so much with the Republicans, but pretty damn close. Libertarians believe that healthcare prices would decrease and quality and availability would increase if healthcare was freed from government meddling and control. Sounds a lot like fucking Republicans too. So it seems like more and more what I'm reading, that they align more with the Republicans than they do with the Democrats. So yeah, they're afraid to say that. So they're afraid to say that they're Republicans, but everything that they believe in is pretty much the same as a Republican.
No, the point is libertarians
It's
generally
stupid.
think Republicans are full of shit. Republicans are full of shit.
Good night, baby.
Guess what party it was that wrote the Patriot Act that invades your privacy?
Oh, you mean when Bush was in office? Yeah, he was a real Republican, wasn't he? Get out of here. And it was both parties. Everybody agreed.
Was a Republican.
Everybody agreed to that.
He was not a conservative. That's the point of libertarians.
You're not going to convince me, Rob, and I'm not going to convince you. Libertarians are stupid.
Okay. And if you support the Republican Party and think they're really that much different than Democrats, you're stupid.
I don't think that Republicans are that much different than libertarians, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
And it's true. I just read to you everything that the fucking libertarians stood for, which is pretty much exactly the same as Republicans.
Okay.
So moving on.
So then why aren't Republicans voting for libertarians when they have a bad Republican candidate?
Because Republicans are obviously the majority. There is obviously Neil Scott is not a very good candidate if he's only getting 0.6% of the vote. Okay.
And that
Mark
would be
Victor is obviously not a very good candidate if all he's getting is 2.1% of the vote. Are you telling me this because he's not getting out there?
No, so literally the problem with the Libertarian Party is we've never had a big name. Ever.
And you won't, because their beliefs are so damn close to the Republican Party that it doesn't make sense.
Okay, but if you do the deep dive on it, like literally they would get rid of basically.
Let's just move on. Deep dive.
They would get rid of
deep
the
dive
FTC.
later on.
They would get rid of the
Libertarian
EPA.
Party is stupid.
Libertarians
That's
would get
like
rid of
saying I'm going to do a fact
Okay,
check,
stop
but not,
talking over me, dude.
but not produce any
Seriously,
facts.
shut up. Okay, libertarians would get rid of the EPA. Is that a bad thing?
So you think that the Republicans want the EPA?
Have you ever heard one talk about getting rid of it? Because I've heard libertarians talk about it.
I've heard a lot of Republicans talking about wanting to, not any candidates.
Okay, they'd get rid of the CDC. Have you heard
Here's
any
the thing.
candidates?
Here's the thing. You're not going to get any Democrat to get on board with that.
No, you're not.
We already got the Supreme Court to shoot down the EPA's authority on regulations.
Some authority.
They can't make fucking laws and regulations. That's up to the fucking Congress.
They can still make regulations, and they will.
Not without the approval of Congress.
Depends on
that's what that whole freaking Supreme Court deal was. Continuing on, anyways, besides the fact that you're a libertarian lover, which is fine, and I still love you for it.
I'm a libertarian.
You're a fucking idiot.
But your behavior, your behavior there is exactly why libertarians are not Republicans.
But they are.
So Democrats,
they're just afraid to admit it.
Nope.
Libertarians are morons, obviously.
Nope.
Yeah. Look, the proof is in the pudding, brother.
I don't know. I'd say the party that had an election handed to them and still managed to fucking fall on their faces. That's the party of idiots.
Okay. How was it handed to them?
Dude, Joe Biden and his policies handed him what should have been no Democrat.
Okay, Joe Biden was handed a perfect Joe Biden was handed a perfect economy and a perfect global freedom and peace. And what did he do? So I would think that the Democrat Party is just as equally dumb. But a party that can only get 2% of the vote is even dumber.
You 100% backed up my point. They're both dumb. That's why I'm libertarian.
They're all three dumb. Look, you can't even get one person to get in double digits for the Libertarian Party.
So the libertarians literally need some big money so they can actually get
They're
their
not going
stance
to get
out.
it because they're so fucking stupid. That's my point.
Okay. Good for you. You're as open-minded as the Democrat. That's wonderful.
No, I just think that libertarians are stupid. That what they did was they went
because you're as open-minded as the Democrat.
Basically, libertarians are Republicans that are too pussified to say that they're Republican.
They're not pussified. They think people that flock like sheep to the Republican Party are pussified.
Okay, okay, you got me there.
Because you can't stand out on the limb on your own.
I am living on my own, and I am standing on my own. What the fuck you're talking about?
Right in the middle of that red wave.
Oh, did I say that it was going to be a red wave?
No, I thought it was going to be a red wave.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that at all.
The polls were like starting to trend it, but the polls
you
were
believe
way
the
off
polls?
again.
You believe the polls? What did the polls say about libertarians? Oh, that's right. The libertarians weren't even in the polls. Oh, that's right, because they're idiots.
Shut up.
Jeez.
Anyway.
No, what's really screwed up though is how did Myra Flores lose?
Is that's the one that flipped that house seat in Texas, right?
Yeah, like right here in El Paso.
Mm-hmm. Because that was a Democrat seat forever, and it was a fluke that she won it in the first place.
Yeah, I don't understand. She won it. So what happened? What, the people just didn't show up? Not all the people showed up to vote her in?
I don't know.
I thought for sure she was going to take that one.
So yeah, that was the flip back to blue, right?
Yeah.
So she should have won that hands down.
She should have. I don't even know what happened.
But then again, what did she do while she was in Congress?
How
make
she was in
for-
Congress she was in Congress for 3 minutes.
Yeah. Well, she should have been screaming for 2 of them.
She should have been screaming for all 3 of them. But dude, what is up with the Pennsylvania law and counting votes?
I don't know. What do you mean?
Dude, they can't
Like,
count
they don't count?
they can't count the early votes until after the polls close.
Yeah, it's stupid. But we already established people in Pennsylvania are stupid. They elected a dead guy. And they elected a guy who's got brain damage. So, you know. Wait, scroll back up to that map. Let's look at let's look at the map of Pennsylvania there. Wow, look at the right side of Pennsylvania there.
I know.
That's the problem with it.
Allentown, Philadelphia, and Pittsburgh. See, that was another thing that Oz did. Saturday night, he said to go find fucking 10 people before the fucking Pittsburgh game. And Pittsburgh had a bye. Like, Jesus. But yeah, like Oz shouldn't have been in the race in the first place. But thanks to Trump, that happened.
What happened to Brian? Did he get scared off?
No, you heard us arguing with each
Oh,
other.
I figured I couldn't get 2 words in, so I would just sit back and listen to you guys.
That's how I felt earlier in the episode.
He probably agreed with you anyways, Rob.
So I think the biggest problem that we have in this country is this duopoly we have on power anyway.
No, I agree. I think the Democrat Party needs to go away, is what I think. I'd much rather have the Libertarians and Republicans battle it out. Not battle it out, but working together, because I think they could work together a lot better than, and they have common ground. Democrats are never going to have common ground with anybody, be it Libertarians or Republicans.
No, I like the Libertarian Party, except they're a little too extreme for me. That's the only reason I'm not Libertarian.
I just think they're too small. They're too small.
Every single party is too small, but they're growing.
I would love, like, dude, 20 years ago, Libertarians couldn't fucking pull like.
They weren't winning anything, not even local ones. They couldn't even win local ones 20 years ago. Now they're winning lots of local ones.
I didn't even hear about the Libertarian Party until like fucking 5 years ago.
Well, they're a pretty new party. I mean, they haven't been around that long.
Dude, I've been a Libertarian for like 20 years.
Yeah. 20 years is not long for politics in the US.
So, I mean, the reality is the Libertarian Party has a messaging issue, and part of the problem is, like, when they do get a candidate with some recognition, it's always some wingnut. The best Libertarian candidate that they put up was Jorgensen. Jorgensen was a good Libertarian.
You know, I bet if more Republicans identified as Libertarian, because it looks like they have some shared values.
Yeah, and the reality is, like, if you look at
but the thing is, look, you could run as a Republican and still be a Libertarian. You could probably do the same thing as a Democrat, but I don't think so, because
the problem that the Libertarians have with the Republican Party is the Republican Party can speak a good game, but once they freaking get in office, they vote like liberal. They're as liberal, if not more liberal, than the freaking Democrats.
Yeah, they're all fucking.
And that's the problem Libertarians have with Republicans.
They're like Ben Shapiro. They're establishment people. But that's what the thing is, though, is if you get a Libertarian to go to run as a Republican and put his libertarian views and not become an establishment cuck, then you could make a difference and build your Libertarian Party off of that.
Did you just say a cuck?
Yeah, you know what a cuck is, right? You ever heard of a cucklebird? Ben Shapiro is an establishment man. He thinks that Republicans and conservatives have one way and one way only, and Michael Knowles is too. So they think, and I don't agree with with a lot of what the Republicans do. But the party that's going to win is the party with the better morals. And that's where we've gone wrong in this country, is people don't care about morals anymore, or somebody else's morals is not the same as mine. And so you're evil. But this country was founded on Christianity.
So honestly, I think it's time for I mean, I think a fracturing of the parties is coming anyway. And that's both parties, because
Clearly,
like 2/3 of the Republicans they're not conservative. Like 2/3 of the Democrat Party are your regular like dumbasses.
well,
But you got a third.
They're extreme progressive.
Yeah, and you've got a third of each of those parties is like a third of the Republican Party is actually conservative. They actually fall in line like with the libertarian values. And on the other side, a third of the Democrat Party, they're fucking communists. So like at some point the parties are going to fracture, and we're actually going to have a 3-party or 4-party system. And then you're actually going to have what you have in other countries, where you have to form a coalition. I mean, how many fucking parties do they have in Israel and fucking England and all that? You know what I mean? Now, granted, Labor usually like leads most of the time, but the minor parties have enough control that they have to get them to fucking come to the table and caucus with them.
Israel's
And
got
that's how.
like
And
7
early,
some shit.
yeah, and like back in the day when there was like Whigs and what were the other parties? That there used to be like 4 or 5 parties in the U.S. And that's when the government functioned the way it was supposed to. But now with this duopoly, you just get them flip-flopping back and forth, and like
the Whigs, the know-nothings.
Yeah, but so the issue with Republicans is they want to spend money too. They just want to spend money on their shit.
Oh yeah.
And that's what fucking libertarians hate, is they're so fucking tired, because every time you spend money on the government, you grow the government.
Yeah.
And fucking libertarians are tired of the government growing. And
Well,
Republicans,
I think a lot of conservatives are too.
yeah, well,
I think a lot
that's kind of my point.
That libertarians should take the side of the Republicans because their values align more with Republicans than they do at all with Democrats.
No, and like I said, I like the Libertarian Party a lot, except they go a little too extreme on some of the stuff for me.
Like what?
Yeah, like what?
A lot of the drug stuff, they really go far too extreme on me.
Or you mean like legalizing marijuana and shit?
Well,
like
legalizing everything and say you can do whatever you want. They are almost an anarchist party in many ways. Almost.
So basically what you're saying, you have a problem with the fact that they want the same drug policy that they have in
Amsterdam?
Holland. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, thanks. Good. I'm good.
You know, where they have some of the lowest drug abuse problems in the world.
No, thank you.
So the idea behind that is basically like none of the shit was illegal when our country was founded. There were lots of drugs that people could do. People were smoking opium, all that shit.
Not like it is now. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but now it's like this whole counterculture.
The Federalist Party, the Democratic Republican Party,
which is where we got both of our current parties. See, that's the problem.
Party,
the fact that both of our parties came from the Democrat Republican Party.
The anti-Masonic Party, the Liberty Party.
The Republican Party came from the Whigs.
The Republican Party.
And well, the reason the Democratic Republican Party became the Democrats is because they got like fractured and split in half, and half of them became the Republican Party and joined up with the remnants of the Whigs.
which
Okay.
was against
So
slavery.
the Republican Party was formed in 1854 in Ripon, Wisconsin, on the foundation
Yep.
of a strong anti-slavery platform. The
With
newly
Lincoln.
minted party brought together members of the Whig and Free Soil
Yep.
parties, many of whom wished to abolish slavery, but thought their respective parties incapable of effecting the change needed.
What was it? The
The Republican
was
Party
it?
quickly gained popularity in the North, with the party's presidential candidate,
Yep.
John C. Fremont, winning 11 of the 16 northern states in 1856 election. Meanwhile, the
Yeah.
slavery-reliant
Lincoln is the
southern
first.
states threatened secession if a Republican were to ascend to the presidency.
Yep.
When
And Lincoln
Republican
was the first
candidate
one.
Abraham Lincoln did just that in 1860, a number of
Yep.
southern states made good on their threat to secede, setting the stage of the American Civil War. The aftermath of the war and the North's victory saw the promulgation of the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments to the U.S. Constitution, which abolished slavery, defined the parameters of American citizenship, and prohibited denial of the right to vote based on race, respectively.
Yep, and
Yep.
old Lincoln bribed a whole bunch of Democrats to get that passed.
So it looks
Yeah.
like there was quite a few. The Liberty Party was established with the aim of abolishing slavery and halting its spread. So there was a lot of people that were anti-slavery, except for
Yeah.
A lot of people. It was just the far South that was not, and they wanted to keep spreading the slavery to the new states.
the
Yep, and that
anti-Masonic.
was actually
The Anti-Masonic Party was formed in the 1820s in opposition to the Freemasons, a secret
Which the-
organization thought to have a sizable influence on U.S. society and American
Yeah.
politics.
And the
they
Republic
still do.
and the
Oh, yeah.
Republicans were willing to let the South keep the slaves because they figured it would eventually burn itself out. They just didn't want to spread. They wanted to keep it from spreading to the new states and the new territories.
So the Whig Party, which seems like, they were, the whole point of fucking tariffs was to fund the infrastructure. So the Whig Party, favoring an ideological pivot towards industrialization and higher tariffs to fund infrastructure developments, the National Republican faction formed as an offshoot of the Democratic Republican Party. The National Republicans backed President John Quincy Adams for re-election in 1828 and nominated Henry Clay in 1834, both of whom lost the popular Andrew Jackson. Henry Clay's defeat in particular reverberated strongly through the National Republican Party and ultimately led to its disintegration. Well, that sounds like a lot that's happening right now in the Republican Party with the old Trump there.
Yep. And so that's the thing. So you got Democrats that are stupid and vote for dead people and brain damaged people and corpses for president. And it really doesn't surprise me that they voted for somebody that was dead in Pennsylvania. They elected one for president. So
Pretty much.
Well, let's not get into that because
hey, I'm just saying they elected him. However they did it, they elected him.
I'm glad you were picking up where I was putting down.
Hey, he became president. They elected him.
But absolutely, you're right.
Like, whatever you want to say about the election, they elected him.
I wasn't saying anything about the election, Rob. I think a libertarian won.
Well, but Rob, you know the democracy is dead. The democracy is dead.
Oh, hey, yeah.
I didn't see anywhere on my ballot that had anything to do with democracy.
Well, since we've never lived in a democracy, so I love all these people that keep saying they're going to kill democracy. Well, okay, we don't live in a democracy. We've never had a democracy. So what's your freaking point?
Yeah, we live in a constitutional republic, and we use the democratic process to get things done.
But the reason people think it's a democracy is because we have two parties, and so it makes it seem like a democracy. But it's the fact that there's only two options. That's the reason why it seems like it's a democracy, because then it becomes mob rule. 51%, we get to do what we want. Except let's face it, like
when Democrats get 50.00000001%, or 49%, and they get the other 1% to come and caucus with them, they act like they got 90% of the vote and just start tearing everything down. So the reality is the Republicans have a problem, and it's Trump. And in a lot of ways, Trump saved the Republican Party, and he taught them to fight. But it's time for him to get out of the way. Like, if I were to pick what Donald Trump does on the 15th, I would be rooting for him to say that he's not running and he's throwing his full support behind DeSantis.
And I've said
I
that.
don't know.
I said if Trump does what he's supposed to do or what he should do, he will say, for the betterment of the party, I'm not going to run, and I'm throwing my support behind DeSantis.
But that's not what he's going to do.
For the next generation to take over.
That's not what he's going to do, though. Well,
No,
maybe,
it's not.
Maybe he is. I don't know.
No,
But
he's
the
not.
rhetoric that he's throwing around does not support that would be what he's going to do.
No,
I
he's
agree.
running.
I agree. He should.
100%. He's running.
Oh yeah, he's going to tell us next Tuesday.
Oh
What,
yeah.
what
he's
if
running.
he decides that next Tuesday he's not going to tell us?
No, he'll tell us he's running.
And I just hope
He's
that
been-
the
he's been
Republican
itching
Party
to tell us.
soundly rejects him this time.
He's been itching to tell us.
Like, did you catch that shit? Him taking a jab at DeSantis, the sanctimonious?
That was
Yep.
the dumbest nickname ever. That was literally, of all the nicknames he
Well,
could have come up with, that was the dumbest.
It's a childish term, and what do you expect from Trump? You know,
Well,
come on.
the very next rally that he had, he didn't use that. He said
Oh, I
DeSantis.
know.
And then he went and
I
voted for him.
It's because they are very similar, other than DeSantis has control of what he says.
He's not a child like Trump.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Like, I mean, that's what it boils down to. Dude, but what is the path going forward for conservatives, since we can't actually get conservatives?
The path
That was
going
the
forward.
only-
Join
Yeah.
the
Path
Libertarian
going
Party.
forward for conservatives is exactly what you two have been saying, and I'm for it. Trump needs to stop. He needs to shut the fuck up. He needs to. I would like to see Trump and DeSantis together, and then I would like to see DeSantis Trump, but I don't think that's going to happen. So.
I would love to see Trump and DeSantis together, as far as Trump saying, I'm stepping out for the next generation. This is DeSantis. He's your man for the future. That's what I would love to see.
Brad,
And that would set DeSantis up to be the next president, 100%.
Oh, DeSantis is already set up to be the next president. He's already
Oh,
done
but
that.
he's going to have a long, bloody fight with Trump, because Trump is too much of a child to give up.
And that's the thing. So if Trump says that he's coming out, do you really think that DeSantis wants to get into that fight?
He will. I percent now he will. I think
Yeah,
after
I
this
think-
election, it showed
Yeah, some people thought that
that Trump,
DeSantis
that
was gonna
a lot of the
bow out
Republican
and
Party
Trump-
has moved on.
Yeah,
Yep.
I don't think DeSantis. I think maybe a few months ago, if Trump had announced that DeSantis would have bowed out, I don't think DeSantis runs.
Not after this
I-
election. I don't think so. Yeah.
Yeah,
I agree.
I think he's gonna have a good case for the fact that, yeah, the movement's great. It's time for somebody else to take the movement forward. You're hurting the party.
Well, Abbott, DeSantis, Kemp, and all these other governors that got in that because they actually did something, it's because they stood on the values that Trump put into place, but they actually played politics a little bit and showed
I'm sorry.
the
You
policies and
can't
got
give Abbott.
stuff done.
You can't give Abbott a whole lot of credit for anything. All Abbott did was watch what
Well, I
DeSantis
know.
did, and then did the exact same thing.
I know.
Yep.
I agree, but still, he did it, and he got reelected in.
Yeah, he did. And another place where Trump screwed up
Yeah.
is he closed down the federal government, and he shouldn't have. He should have fucking grabbed his balls, realized he was a man, and said, "No, you're not going to destroy this beautiful economy that I just built over a cough."
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, lots of people died from this. Whatever. Lots of people die every year from the flu. So, like, literally.
Yeah.
That was pure hyperbole, YouTube.
Yes.
Oh my god, I hate YouTube. Anyway,
It's almost to the point that we're going to just post on Rumble because we've talked so much about that.
Because they're not going to kick us off. We don't even have a following for them to even pay attention to us.
dude, all of our viewers are on YouTube anyway, though. Like that's where the majority of our listens come from.
Yeah. Yeah.
So anyway,
we're going to build that up anyways, because this Friday on Rumble, we're going to be talking about Dr. Fauci.
Yeah, Lord Fauci.
So, by the way, guys, like, comment, subscribe. If you liked mine, Rob's little rant that we got calling each other fucking names, I still love you though, Rob. Just want you to know that. Let us know. Comment, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can get alerts. Hit the Rumble button. Leave comments. Tell me how stupid I am. Tell Rob how much of a genius he is. Tell Brian he needs to speak some more.
Not when I can't get even one word in. I just muted myself and just let you guys go because I got tired of trying to say something, especially when we were talking about Alaska and I couldn't say 2 words about my home state. Like, okay, I'm done. Mute. I'm done. Mute.
Well, now that I know how to get all 3 of us on the screen, I can see when you muted it, so I can be like, "Okay, Brian, we'll shut up for a second so you can talk."
Well, Brian wants to talk. You hit the mute button.
Shit.
I mean, come on, we got to hear from the leftist sympathizer.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So.
I think we're all in agreement that Trump needs to shut the fuck up and
yeah. I think everybody needs to join the Libertarian Party.
Good luck.
If they weren't so extremist on some things, I would think about it.
Okay. In the meantime, the Republicans will keep spending your money for you.
I think it's the Democrats that are doing that. So
it's the Republicans too.
well, right now,
Democrats are worse.
Right now, it's the Democrats.
Yeah. The Democrats are worse, but the Republicans are almost as bad.
Oh yeah, no, there's no disagreement there. Look, the Republicans are not the solution to all of our problems, but the Democrats certainly are, and libertarians don't know what the F they're doing anyway. So.
Jeez. You just can't get on that one. What were you saying, Rob?
The last time Republican-controlled Congress actually cut government spending was in the 90s, and before that, it was in the 40s.
Oh yeah, Trump spent a lot of money, especially during COVID.
Not just Trump. Every single Republican who has gotten elected, including Ronald Reagan, spent more money than their predecessor.
Oh yeah.
And usually they immediately followed a Democrat, and during the election they talked about government spending, and then when they went and spent more they spent more money than any president in history. Joe Biden had to crank up the spending in order to make sure that he was the worst spender, in order to be the worst spender ever, because Trump spent so much money because of the pandemic. So he had to really crank it up to keep that title. Every single time somebody becomes president, their party spends more money than any government in history. And like that's why I'm like, libertarians, they want to slash the fucking budget. It should be military, and that's it. We don't need anything else from the federal government. We need a military. Like what else does the federal government do that we actually need, that the free market can't determine on its own?
Mm-hmm. Federal law enforcement.
We don't need federal law enforcement. We have law
Yes, we do.
enforcement all over the country.
Yeah, we do.
Why? Why do we need federal law enforcement?
For across the states, crimes, murder, things like that.
All
I
right.
think they don't need to be as big as they are. I think you can shrink them down and get rid of a bunch of them, but we do need some kind of coordination between states, some agency to coordinate law enforcement between states and trade.
So it sounds to me like we need an interstate task force for coordination between the states, but we don't actually need a law enforcement agency. We need somebody who just directs how they interact with each other. That's it.
No, I think you have a law enforcement agency that goes between states that jumps around, enforcing federal laws, certain laws that we all agree on, like murder and things like that.
And raiding former presidents' houses and
No,
harassing
No.
preachers and
no.
well, that's what we get.
Now, it wasn't always that way until recently when the Democrats politicized them.
Dude, did you never hear of J. Edgar Hoover?
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, damn it.
So, okay, IRS. Who thinks we need an IRS?
Yeah, no, we don't
Well-
need an IRS.
Well, considering that, I think that we should have a fair tax or a consumption tax, and the IRS can be shrunk down to almost nothing.
I don't believe in a consumption tax.
I know you don't.
Again, it
I know
overburden
you
the
don't.
poor because the poor spends a greater percentage of their income. But a flat tax, everybody just pays 50%, or even if you make it 20%, 20% of your income is taxed. Done. Everybody
I
says
disagree with you.
the same percentage. There are no write-offs.
Uh-huh.
The end. Done. How can you say that's not fair if everybody is paying the same percentage? That would be the fairest tax code ever. And you know what?
Consumption
Here's what's gonna
tax.
mess with you. You know what country actually has exactly that tax policy? Russia. There's different rates for the individuals and corporations, but it's a flat tax and everybody pays the same, and you aren't getting out of paying it. So, and there's no workaround. And if you get caught not reporting income, you just go to jail for tax evasion. The end.
So the results of this election, I think, is going to be what we've already seen: is the left or the right's going to continue leaving the blue states, moving to the red states, which is what we've seen. Which is why the Florida is turned completely red, because all the conservatives that were in New York have left New York and gone to Florida. Same with California. The Republicans are leaving California and flooding into Texas and Florida, and a lot of these other conservative states.
I don't
So
know.
you're gonna see the blue states becoming bluer, the red states becoming redder.
Yeah, but what we need to wait and see is how long it's going to take the purple states to turn red.
Yeah.
Well, not with the Libertarian Party being involved.
Oh, fuck.
Anyways, no, okay, wait a minute. I don't think that the people moving from New York to Florida had an effect, but I don't
It
think
had a big effect.
I don't think that it had an effect in southern Florida, like Miami-Dade, because that
Well, but
always
no, but the,
was always a solid blue. Now it's
Yeah.
solid red.
Because conservatives are moving
that
in.
is mostly
Yeah.
Hispanics.
well, they picked up a ton of Hispanics, but
Oh yeah.
a large amount of that immigration of Republicans leaving the fucking hell states, Democrat-controlled country, they did go because they were big city people. They did move to cities, so you had
Yep.
the
Miami.
few conservatives moving from one city to another, and that helped
Yeah.
too. Now,
Yeah.
the huge population of people that are there that were either first or second generation immigrant families coming from places like Cuba and Venezuela going, yeah, no, we know what this shit is.
Yeah.
That was a huge part of it.
Oh yeah.
But
Well, here's another thing about that. Okay, so they say that the people moving from the blue states to the red states are getting redder. The blue states are getting bluer, but the blue states population is dwindling.
Yeah, they're getting smaller.
Their representation in Congress is going to go down as well.
Yeah.
So
And they did.
the
You
people
saw
that
with
they
California.
so if we had more people moving down to the red states from blue states and they keep voting red, that's going to give us more representation.
Yeah.
And it'll make it harder for California or New York to ever be able to be in a position where their vote makes a difference in the presidency.
It's going to be a long time before that happens.
But the problem is, I've also met a bunch of people that were moving here from Chicago. That's like really big here in Houston. They move here from Chicago because Chicago is trash, but they want to keep their politics.
Yeah, and see, we don't need that. If you're going to do that, stay where you are. Don't turn our wonderful Pleasantville into your hellhole.
What happened in the New York governor race?
Hochul won barely.
Oh, Hochul won. Yeah. Yeah, the Republican lost.
If you think that Zeldin was going to pull that off, man, you're living a pipe dream.
Dude,
well, we hope it'd be kind of like with
Michigan won too. Fucking Whitmer. How did that happen? But again, if the governor was voted or was put in backed by Trump, then that would explain a lot.
I don't know.
Yeah, let's see. Gretchen Whitmer, 98%. Let's see what the difference was. 11 points. Tudor Dixon lost 43.9%. And Gretchen Whitmer got 54.5.
So I have a question for you guys since you're in Texas here. If Carrie Lake wins, which it looks like she's going to, and it's pretty much going the way we thought it would, where she'll be behind until almost the end and then she'll finally pull ahead and win. She already said she's going to do the Insurrection Act when she gets in office. She's going to secure the border. She's going to do what she has to. She's going to put the National Guard on the border with the Insurrection Act.
She's going to build a wall with containers.
Yep. Yeah. Now, when she does that and she secures the border and she gets the security on the border, does Abbott follow suit and do the same thing in Texas?
Nope.
I thought he was already trying something like that, but I don't.
Dude, he's been running his mouth about it for 6 years already.
Yeah, but when he sees his neighbor doing it, doesn't that open the door and pushes him a little harder to actually do the Insurrection Act?
I don't know, man. I honestly don't know. I don't know. Maybe.
I've heard Abbott do a lot of talking. I haven't seen him commit to a lot of action.
Well, you said he follows suit of DeSantis. He sees DeSantis does something, so he does it. Well, if he sees Carrie Lake does something, does that mean he'll do it?
We can hope.
Yeah.
If it works, he might. He started sending the migrants up north after DeSantis said that he was going to do it. So,
well, I thought Abbott started that.
I think DeSantis said he said something about it first.
Yeah, Abbott was doing it, but he was kind of keeping hush hush on it, and then DeSantis made a big flary show about it, and that's
flying the people to Martha's Vineyard. Yeah.
Well, no, DeSantis was also sending them on bus loads to New York too, and Chicago. Yeah. And so is Abbott as well, but
well, DeSantis wasn't doing that at first. Abbott was doing that. DeSantis did it later.
Let's find out. Who sent?
Hey, what's that site that we should be trying to get sponsorship for that doesn't censor the results?
What was that?
You keep mentioning a search engine that doesn't like filter the results by politics.
DuckDuckGo.
Duck, duck, go.
There you go. DuckDuckGo. That was the one. That I was
Duck,
thinking.
duck, go. I need to start using them more often.
Yeah, we've actually like some of our traffic is actually coming from DuckDuckGo.
Nice. Maybe we can get them to sponsor us.
That's literally what I just said.
I know. I'm agreeing with you. Maybe we can get them. Come on, DuckDuckGo, sponsor us. You should share the screen and just do searches on DuckDuckGo.
Not a sponsor yet, but we're hoping.
Yep, it was Abbott that sent him first, from what I'm seeing.
I was gonna say if DeSantis was doing it, he was doing it hush hush until the Martha's Vineyard, because all the publicity was on Abbott on that one until DeSantis did the Martha's Vineyard.
Well, also Biden was flying them in planes in the middle of
but
night
his
to
was
Florida.
his was
all
top
Abbott did-
secret. He
yeah,
wasn't
let's-
doing anything.
Let's face it. What really happened was Abbott copied Biden.
Yeah, Biden was
Well,
doing
not
it
exactly,
top
because
secret
Abbott didn't
for
pay for the
a long
planes.
time. Yeah. I mean, Biden was doing it top secret for a long time before DeSantis jumped in. Only difference is, well, not DeSantis, Abbott jumped in. Only difference is Abbott wasn't hiding it. He was coming out and saying, I'm sending these north. Where do you want to go? You want to go to New York? Well, let me get you there faster. Here's a bus. Take it.
Yep.
I'm sorry, but you send a few hundred people, a few thousand people up to New York, and they can't handle it when these small communities of 1,000 people, 5,000 people on the border are handling literally tens to hundreds of thousands of migrants coming across the border.
And never once said that they were sanctuary cities or states.
Yeah.
But
This
you
is
want
just
to brag
crazy.
about how you're a sanctuary state and you can't even handle 6,000 immigrants? You're an idiot.
Yeah. But
So
They
So
can't
what else
even
we have?
handle 50 in Martha's Vineyard.
okay.
So what
but-
else?
Okay. Abbott's been the governor for I forget if it's a 4 or 6 year term, but at least 4 years. Okay. I think it's 6 though. I can't remember. Anyways,
I
but
think
he's
I've never heard of governor
So,
6 year.
for at least 4 years he's been the governor, and he has not activated the National Guard to secure the border. So he's still just
Yeah.
talking.
I
He
agree.
said he's going to. That does,
So
Okay,
this whole
what-
show.
what-
So
What's he waiting for? The Mexican army to come across the border? I mean,
I guess. Who
the
knows?
cartel's already
hey
sitting
guys,
there.
I think we've been off the rails for like at least a quarter of the show or a third of the show. How about let's get back to
Well,
the,
yeah,
election.
when we were
Hey,
talking
it's not
about
title.
idiots being fucking libertarians and idiots being Republicans.
And
We
idiots
talked about
being
that for a
Democrats.
good
Hey, we got them all.
15
So I mean, honestly, the election so far has pretty much been an incumbent win. Pretty
Hey,
much, I don't know
hey,
of any
hey.
incumbents that actually lost.
You know what though? We need to be fair. Green Party people are stupider than all three of those parties.
Oh yeah,
which is why they're not on the ballot at all.
They're
Yeah,
they're
they've
on
been
the
around
ballot
for a
in,
long
they're
time.
on the ballot in a lot of states.
they've been around since I was a kid and never have done anything. They've won some small local elections here and there, but it's just
Let-
a few, few
let's face
ticks
it.
here and there.
AOC is fucking Green Party.
She's worse than Green Party, dude. She's socialist, communist.
Yeah, they're the socialist. They're the democratic socialists.
She's the candidate of Stalin. Come on, just face it. Lenin, Stalin.
Mhm.
The Manchurian candidate.
Yeah, but I mean,
Dude,
This is definitely-
do you think AOC's got the balls to fucking primary what's his name? Biden?
She doesn't, even her own following is turning on her. So if she even makes it into that primary, she's got another thing coming.
Hey, maybe she'll be as popular as Kamala and end up vice president. get 3% of her own state's vote.
Vice president to
Maybe.
who? Biden isn't going to give up freaking Kamala.
Or his party
I don't-
might make him if they let him
I think
run.
if he gets primaried, I don't think he becomes president. I don't think he makes the general. Like I don't think if
Yeah.
DeSantis primaries Trump, Trump's not going to be the candidate. And
Yeah.
I think if Newsom primaries Biden, Biden's not going to be the candidate.
Newsom. Talk about a
Dude, Newsom
nightmare.
was already
Jesus
measuring the
Christ.
fucking grapes.
Oh, I know. I know.
He's sure
I
he's
know.
going to be the next president.
But what do you think the message that pretty much every incumbent stayed in kept their office? What message do you think that sends?
The idiots are going to stay idiots.
That they don't want anything to change. That these idiots
Yeah.
in these states don't want anything to change. They want us to keep going the same direction we've been going. It's the only reason you'd vote all these incumbents back in office.
Yep. Well, there is one nice positive viewpoint that we can take from this. The Democrat states are only going to be a problem for so long because they're all going to get murdered.
Well, and then like these people were saying, oh well, the conservative states are even more violent and higher murder rates than the liberals. Well, that won't last
Democrat
long
cities.
because that won't last long because the Democrat cities are going to kill themselves.
Yep.
And then the crime rate in these conservative states where it's high will disappear because the liberals are liberals will be gone. Because
you
they
know
killed
what the
themselves.
average in Louisiana, like that was like really key in the defund the police movement. Do you know what their average response time is down there in New Orleans?
Isn't it like 20 some minutes or something now?
Dude, it's like 4 hours.
Yeah.
It's 27 minutes if there's a report of shots fired.
Yeah. No, that's right. I was thinking England. I was listening to a report in England where they were talking about some of the elections going on and how average wait time when you call for an emergency response is like over 30 minutes.
Yep.
And they're like, so whoever's going to get elected in needs to talk about what they're going to do to change that. How can you be 30 minutes in a freaking response time? Yes, my husband's having a heart attack. I need paramedics here. Okay, well, give us 35 minutes to get there.
Well, you see, our candidates,
It's like, what?
candidates here should be talking about that because that's exactly what happens when you get the nationalized healthcare. I mean, that is what that is what crushed the Republicans here is that they didn't really focus on the message. They have a horrible messaging problem.
Well, one thing I've been looking at for the last couple of years is ever since we went more where the federal government's in charge of the healthcare system, has anyone noticed that we went from used to be able to set a doctor's appointment for that week. Now they're like, yeah, we're looking at 2 months out for your for that very important doctor's appointment. It's like, are you freaking serious? You're checking my heart for a major condition that could kill me tomorrow, and you want me to wait 2 months to get in there? Which is pretty much what you always heard about Canada and why everybody from Canada was coming down here when it was something important. Well, now you got to wait 2-3 months to get in for something that you might die from.
Good luck, tons of fun. You're toast.
It's insane. It's insane. I know I've been listening with Jerry trying to get stuff done, and he has major heart issues. He's had 2 open heart surgeries, and yet the doctor in Florida told him that he has a doctor here in Bellingham. He was visiting his daughter in Georgia. They went down to Florida because she's looking at moving down there. Well, he had some heart issues. The doctor told him, you need to go in and have open heart surgery and have this done. He's like, well, I want to talk to my doctor in Bellingham that I've been working with for 30 years. He's like, yeah, I can understand that. Absolutely. Just get that set up immediately because you need to get this done. Well, basically, they wanted him to wait 2 to 3 months to have his appointment, except that he finally talked to the doctor, which he has a really good relationship with, and he forced him in. But seriously, one doctor's saying you need open heart surgery now or you're going to die. And they're saying, oh, well, 3 months out.
Or what? We can't do emergency surgeries?
Yeah, it's just, it's just this whole, as the government dives more in, it just gets worse and worse and worse.
So
Well, I guess
how long before we're living in a Mad Max like hellscape?
Oh, geez.
Well, I don't know. Fucking Putin decides he's gonna launch
Oh.
one of those fucking nuclear warheads. It won't be long.
Yeah.
We'll be living Mad
I-
Max Hills Have Eyes type shit.
Dude, I ordered another bucket of 100 of the meal packs.
The what?
Oh, yeah. Meal
Yeah,
packs in case
so-
stuff goes to hell and you need to
Yeah,
survive off
so
of it.
I'm now up to a year and a half worth of stockpiles, and they're good for like 25 years.
Yeah, nice.
But I ate one the other day because I was hungry and it was late at night. I didn't want to go like shop at the fucking gas station. So yeah, I popped one of those bad boys open. Like,
They're pretty good.
dude, I was shocked. It was actually pretty good.
They're
We
not
need
the
to get
ones
our
from when we were
affiliate
kids,
program-
man.
We need to get our affiliate program set up, and then I'll actually start promoting the stuff that I have in my little cabin in the woods.
Yeah, dude, it's not what it was when we were kids, man. Where you all popped it open, you had saltines and peanut butter,
Well-
you know, or some crap like
So
that.
I
This
was
is like
just worried
gourmet
about
meals
making
these
sure that I
days.
have a food supply, and
Yeah.
I wasn't really concerned. I figured I'd be choking the shit down. But
Yeah.
this stuff was supposed to be like a meatloaf, and it actually tasted like meatloaf, dude. Like I was
Yeah.
like, oh my god. And
Yeah,
then
they've come a
like
long
the
ways.
the vegetables in there were just dehydrated, and like, dude, it was pretty fucking legit. It was pretty good. So,
Yeah.
anyways, yeah, like I'm all kinds of yeah.
Prepared.
I'm getting my survival gear down. I need to get another generator. I'm gonna get a propane generator because I got the gas generator, and then I'm gonna get one of those 1,000-pound tanks.
So Houston, just remember, if we ever go apocalypse, Rob has a year and a half worth of food stored in his cabin.
I also have a fucking enough ammunition to survive the zombie apocalypse. So yeah, get it. Your bodies will be fertilizing my garden. Dude, and I'm starting to like price the materials for building a border wall. So
I like that.
A
Rob
border wall.
thinks he's bulletproof too, because nobody else is gonna have guns.
no,
Well, you're in Houston,
that's why I'm wearing. That's why.
Like, I got a bunch of
my next-
claymores out back.
That's why my next project's gonna be the brick wall,
The border wall.
double filled with cement. So
The border
I've
wall.
seen your buildings. I'm not.
Huh?
I'm not confident in your border wall.
Somebody
gonna
might
be-
just
You got
push it
four.
over.
You got 4 walls and no windows.
Somebody might push it over.
yeah, I did that.
He doesn't even
I
have
did
a.
that-
He doesn't even have a door. He's got a little doggy flap that he crawls
He
through.
did that for insulation. He did
I
that
got
for
a
insulation
door.
factor and darkness to sleep.
I know you have a door, Rob. I'm giving you shit.
Dude, the way I have the windows, they're up in the loft. I just never installed them because I like that it's
Yeah.
pitch black in there.
Yeah, I know. And insulation factor, you're able to insulate the walls better.
Yeah, I really like it being that dark. And that's the funny thing. Like,
He's gonna fall asleep with a
Somebody was
cigarette
asking-
and it's
oh,
gonna
they're
catch
not-
fire and he's not gonna be able to get out.
Well, and Rob wants me to move down there and build a place on the other piece of property he bought next door. Like,
Somebody-
yeah, if we build a place, we're gonna have to put windows in. I'm sorry, my wife will not go in a place with no windows.
And it's gonna have to be
But-
bigger than a little shed.
Yeah, I know.
now you're gonna have to share the lot with Reagan because she's gonna come down and do a school bus tiny house.
And do what?
She wants to build a school bus tiny house.
All right, guys. We
Yeah.
gotta close this off.
You got to go get your not so strange and go to bed.
No, we've been on here for like an hour and
Hour
a
and
half,
43
2
minutes.
hours.
Yeah, hour and 43
Yeah.
minutes.
It happens. Anyway, so back to the elections. Let's wrap up on the elections. Brian, since we overpowered you so much, why don't you kick off your wrap up here?
Well, I think it was I mean, the biggest takeaway from the elections, I think, shows that polls don't work anymore, which is not a big surprise because polls always relied on people answering the phone. So when people had landlines, they were trusting on landlines. They didn't have caller ID. They would answer their phone and they would get, more accurate polling data by that using that. Now people have smartphones, they have caller ID, and they're going unknown caller. Frick that, I'm not answering. So polls don't work anymore. We got to come up with a new system for polls if we're going to keep doing polling systems. Maybe an app with some kind of benefit. If you participate in this poll, you get some kind of discount somewhere or something. Maybe that might encourage people to actually do the polls and we get more accurate polling data. But I mean, it's looking promising for Kerry Lake. We won a lot of governor positions. Florida turned extremely red. Texas took over
governor's houses.
Huh?
I thought we lost. We're down 2 governor's houses.
Which
no,
ones?
No. We won a lot of governor positions.
Well, I know, but we're down 2 last I saw.
No. I mean, but Florida turned extremely red. Texas one's more red.
We've lost 2 governors.
I told you.
That's what it's saying.
We had some good nights with some strong governors coming into place. Long Island turned much redder. We did have a good night. I mean, we're taking power back in the House. Looks like we'll probably take the power in the Senate by maybe 1 seat, but we have yet to see that for sure. But there's a lot of changes, a lot of messages that you can take back from this, especially being that Republicans should have had a huge tsunami coming in with the way the economy and everything is going right now, and with the brainless wonder we have in office right now. We should have plowed through and taken, we should have done much better than we did. So Republicans need to change message and actually follow through on what they're saying. Trump needs to move on and hand power to the next generation is what it really comes down to. Trump needs to say, I've did what I came here to do. I've helped the Republican Party reshape itself. I'm handing power to the next generation. Here's the candidates that I think should go for the next presidency. That's what Trump should do. Something along that line. So until that happens, we'll have to see what goes on.
All right, Brad, what you got?
Well, I'm of the same. I'm not going to give up on Trump just yet. I think that what he's doing is pretty stupid and foolish. Ron DeSantis, if he decides that he's going to run, which looks like he's going to, I'm gonna have to vote with DeSantis because I think he's the guy for the party. Brian's right. Polls don't work, but the polls haven't worked for quite some time. Like the polls had Hillary Clinton above Donald Trump, and they were wrong. Who knows what happened with 2020 election, except for fucking Biden won. So, we could go into all that some other time on Rumble or whatever. But
we should.
Donald Trump, it'd be best for him to stay out of it. I think he's done what he can do. He's done all that he can do. I'm not giving up on him. I hope that if he runs again, that he doesn't have to face DeSantis, so I don't have to vote for DeSantis. But that's 2 more years from now. We'll see what happens. I reserve the right to change my mind between now and then because a lot of shit could happen. Donald Trump could say a lot of dumb stuff. And who knows? The country could end up totally, completely falling apart before we even get to 2024, even to the primaries. Who knows? We don't know what's going to happen with Russia and Ukraine and China and Taiwan and Korea and Japan and all those other places either. We could be in the middle of World War III and the only person that can stop it is fucking Donald Trump, and then he could end up coming in to be the savior. Who knows? I don't know, but we'll see. If it's a DeSantis ticket, I'm probably going to go DeSantis. So we need to figure out these elections, get it fixed. There's no reason why Brazil can have election day and have the results the same day, and we can't. There's no reason for it. We're not a third world country, but we're voting like we are. We need to fix it. And we need Republicans to come out and do like what Kerry Lake said and what Ron DeSantis has done already and what Governor Brian Kemp has done in Georgia. Because look at Georgia. Georgia had one voting day and they got all the results that day. I mean, there was early voting, but they had a massive turnout for early voting. So there's no voter suppression. And that's all I have to say about that.
All right. So I think both the parties are stupid. That's my summation. Both the parties are stupid. When I run for office as a libertarian, everybody should vote for me. But if the office I'm running for is president, don't vote for me because I'm going to nuke everybody. Anyway, no, but seriously,
Wally's at a donkey show
about the election.
Caribou show.
Like the Republicans had the same issue that libertarians have had their entire existence. They have a messaging problem. They did not get the messaging out there. They did not get out there what their actual policies were. They kept talking about inflation, but they never had anything what they were going to do to fix inflation. I got tired of hearing them talk about investigations and everything else. So yeah, I mean, my voting ticket was Republican. The only time it wasn't Republican is if there was a libertarian, because like I didn't want to vote for Republicans either, because they're like as bad in that. Like, it's great. We get that you don't like this stuff, but give me a plan to fix it. If you ain't got a plan, like at least libertarians will like give a plan. Even if you don't like it, at least they've got one. Like beyond that, like, I mean, yeah, just stop the rhetoric. Like, give us some plans. Let us get the information. Congratulations to Chuck Schumer. Now you've got your own pet troll from Pennsylvania. And like, you know, I mean, we all know that his wife is going to be the one filling that seat anyways, but maybe she'll like talk to Clinton and get him out of the way and get appointed as the temporary placeholder for that Senate seat. Anyway, yeah, that's, and like, I don't think I need to rehash on Trump. Like, I think he's done. He if he wants to be a leader, he needs to do the true leader thing, realize that he's hurting the Republican Party. And like, seriously, like, even if he doesn't like DeSantis, pick somebody, like hand the MAGA movement off to Kayleigh McEnany, or hand the MAGA movement off to Candace Owens, or hand the MAGA movement off to somebody, but get the hell out of the way, hand it off, and, you know, let the party move forward. Thank you for like kind of uniting the party around the Make America Great Again ideals, because like even the Republicans that weren't pro-Trump, they at least adopted the Make America Great Again agenda. So thank you for that, but now get out of the way. My dream ticket for 2024, I would think would have to be DeSantis Flores.
I don't know. DeSantis Lake, I've heard of many times, and I tend to.
I don't think that's wrong. Gonna be looking for national office 2 years in. Like, I think.
Yeah, I tend to. I don't disagree.
I think we need 8 years. I think we need 8 years of DeSantis and 8 years of Lake to undo all the damage that.
You mean 6 years of DeSantis? Oh, yeah.
No, I mean 8 years of DeSantis.
Yeah, 8 years as president. No, I got you. No, I got you as president. Yeah.
And then let's follow it up with 8 years of Flores as president.
Yeah.
I really like Flores. I hope she runs for a Senate seat down the line or something, because like I really like her. I like the way she like talks. She's personable.
Well.
And then I hope she gets in the Senate and then becomes a libertarian. Anyway,
well, Rob, you know, since you mentioned Fetterman, real quick, you know, the type of stroke he had was because of his heart condition. He already said. They say that there's a 50% chance that in the next 5 years he could have the same issue that could be terminal. So he could very easily 50% chance at least that he could die in office.
And then his wife will take over, just like what?
Yeah.
Truman?
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, Well, no, I mean I think that's already the plan. Like
Yeah.
I think at some point she's gonna make him duck out so she can just like get appointed to his seat for the remainder of his term.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
So but so as far as the Rumble thing, I am looking at like finding what software we can use so we can do this format and live stream on Rumble. So we can do some live stuff and just cut loose and people can watch as we go. Because I want to really be able to start engaging live with our viewers, especially as our viewership is growing. Like, I mean, we're doing great. Like we're like at almost like 1,500 views right now. Like our last 28 days is over 1,330. So like we're really growing. We're starting to add some subscribers. Like, so everything's going great. Over on Spotify, it's the same track. It's like we've maintained the same space. So we're still getting the same number of listens. So I hope we grow on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And then I just got us signed up with a new one, like Podster or something like that. So hopefully that'll get us some more listens on our podcast. This week's, Brad mentioned it, this week's watch party is going to be on Rumble only. I'll make sure to post a video reminding everybody to go over and check it out on Rumble when I post it, because we are going to be doing the watch party about Lord Fauci and the Voldemort virus. And so we're obviously, I mean, I am going to post it on YouTube, but I expect it to get pulled down. So
it won't get pulled down.
Yeah. So, but I'm gonna put it up. If they want to pull it down, they can pull it down.
I bet it doesn't get pulled down.
Let's hope.
Who's gonna take that bet? It sounded like
I bet it does. I bet it does, because they already pulled one down because you made one mention.
Yeah, and you didn't actually say anything about it.
This isn't gonna. This is an advertisement for a video from the Daily Wire. I highly doubt they're
no.
Yeah, because the Daily Wire might go after him. Anyway, so but yeah, everybody make sure that you subscribe wherever you're listening or wherever you're watching. Hit the comments, let us know, hit the like, help us out with the algorithms, but also engage with us. Let us know what's going on, what you're thinking. If you think we get too crazy, if you don't think we get crazy enough, whatever your thoughts are, whatever your comments are, go ahead and jump in. And I leave it open. If there's any liberal brave enough to come on the show, send us an email, our otrrvl@yahoo.com. I will get it. I will read it. And we definitely like to have some opposing viewpoints on here. As you notice, just between me and Brad, we don't mind having a fight on the show. So like, come on board and,
I like how you said between you and Brad. He left me out of that one.
Yeah, hey, we dig in on it, and like during the Alaska episode, you and I got into it a little bit. Like, I mean, it's nothing but love, and like even if we don't agree with each other's point of views, there's still no love lost. I mean, we're all
still love you, Rob.
But,
you think I'm stupid? I think you're stupid. It's all good.
No, I think Republicans are stupid.
And I know you're too stupid. So,
well, and we both know Brian. So
yeah, he sympathizes with the left.
I know you guys are stupid.
Dude, we go off the rails even in the closing remarks. Anyway, so yeah, make sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell.
If you can, give us a rating on your podcast platform. Give us a rating.
Email. Give us our email again, Rob.
It's otrrvl@yahoo.com.
Beautiful.
Send an email with some comments so we can respond to you and read it out on the show.
Yeah, and let us know if you're libertarian or liberal or Republican, because I don't think there's very many libertarians out there. So prove me wrong.
How many jabs is he gonna take there? Anyway, so yeah, so go ahead and send us a message. And yeah, you can find us on any of the platforms by searching Off the Rails Right versus Left. I've gone and checked the search. It pulls up. We're getting easier and easier to find as we get more and more fans of the show. Like, hopefully they're fans. Well, I don't care if they love us or hate us, but thanks for watching. You guys have a great night. Thank you, Brad. Thank you, Brian.
Help build us up so we can get some freaking product placement out there. Get some hats, some shirts. We got good ideas for shirts and all that good stuff. So
yeah, I'm still having an issue with the web hosting company. So maybe there's a web hosting company out there that wants to sponsor our show and like hook us up with web hosting, since web.com has us all screwed up. I'm just saying.
Or maybe webcut.com will hear this and fix it and sponsor us.
Oh, that would be beautiful. Anyways, you guys have a great night. Thanks for watching. The most important thing is it's a beautiful thing that once again we had record turnout. Love that everybody's voicing their opinion, even if we don't necessarily like the results. Thank you for taking part in the process, everybody that went out and voted yesterday. You guys have a great night.
Peace out.
Peace,
Love you.
baby.
Peace out.